You want to stay informed, but who has time for wading through tons of articles, right?
Exactly. Time's valuable.
So let's jump into something really key today, AI security. Specifically, when sensitive organizations think finance, healthcare, run AI in their own data centers, is that automatically secure?
That's a really critical question right now. For these places, data security isn't just important, it's non-negotiable.
Totally. Like a bank dealing with, I don't know, social security numbers, account details, all that PII.
Precisely. And their first instinct is often, okay, let's just run the AI here on our own servers. They figure, on-prem equals safe.
Seems logical on the surface, keep it within your walls, but what we're seeing suggests the location isn't the whole story. Not by a long shot.
Exactly. It's easy to focus on data when it's stored, at rest or when it's moving across the network. In transit, we encrypt that, we build firewalls,
Standard practice.
and it's vital, absolutely.
Yeah.
But what's often overlooked, and where we're seeing attacks now, is the data while it's being processed. When it's live, in memory.
In memory. Okay, wait. So even if this AI is running inside their supposedly super secure data center, the actual sensitive info it's working on, that's exposed during processing.
Potentially, yes. And this really highlights the insider threat issue.
Ah, right. The people who are supposed to have access.
Exactly. Think about it, who has legitimate access to these internal systems. Usually it's employees, admins.
Okay.
Now, someone with the right permissions, maybe they're disgruntled or maybe they're careless, they could potentially perform what's called a memory dump.
Like taking a snapshot of the system's active RAM.
Precisely. And that snapshot, it could contain raw, unencrypted sensitive data,
Yeah.
names, numbers, whatever the AI was processing at that exact moment. It bypasses a lot of the typical defenses.
Wow. Okay, so just having the AI physically on site doesn't actually shield you from someone internal doing something malicious or accidental.
Not necessarily no,
Mhm.
which is why the conversation is shifting. It's less about where and more about how. How is the system built?
So what is the answer then? What's the how?
Well, one really promising area is AI platforms built with end-to-end encryption.
End to end. So protecting it everywhere.
Yes. At rest, in transit, and crucially, while it's being processed in memory. That's the key difference. Protecting it during use.
Okay, that sounds much more robust. I think I also saw mention of confidential computing. What's that about?
Yeah, confidential computing is fascinating. Think of it like creating ultra-secure vaults directly within the server hardware itself. They're called secure enclaves.
Secure enclaves, like a safe inside the server?
Kind of, yeah. The AI processing happens inside this isolated enclave. Even the main operating system or someone with high-level privileges on the server can't just peek inside and see the data being processed.
So that directly tackles that memory dump risk, even from insiders.
It significantly mitigates it, yes. It drastically shrinks the attack surface.
Makes sense. And there was something else too, AI guardrails.
Right. Think of these as built-in security checks specifically for the AI itself. They monitor how the AI is being used.
Looking for weird patterns or something.
Exactly. Detecting potential misuse. Maybe blocking harmful prompts or commands. It's like an internal security system for the AI's behavior. And critically, all this, the encryption, the enclaves, the guardrails, needs to work within the company's own data center if that's their requirement.
So it brings together the control of on-prem with these much more advanced granular security features. It sounds like we're describing a kind of secure AI system package deal.
That's the goal, yes.
But does something like that actually exist right now? Like a complete off-the-shelf solution with all these pieces integrated?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? The technology is definitely moving fast. We're seeing platforms emerge that incorporate these elements, end-to-end encryption, support for confidential computing, those guardrails, and on-prem deployment. It's the direction things are definitely heading. Fortanix is actually deeply involved in this space.
Okay, so maybe not one single universally adopted product yet, but the components and the approach are becoming available.
Correct. Organizations need to look for platforms architected with this kind of inherent security.
So wrapping this up, the big takeaway really seems to be, stop focusing only on whether AI is in the cloud or on-prem. That distinction is becoming less important than how the system itself protects data, especially during that vulnerable processing stage.
Absolutely. In-memory protection and mitigating insider threats have to be top priorities when evaluating any AI solution, regardless of location.
It boils down to the architecture, not just the address.
Well put. The intrinsic security posture of the AI platform is paramount.
Which leaves us with a final thought, maybe something for our listeners to chew on. We've talked tech encryption, enclaves, guardrails, but beyond the technology, what kind of organizational changes, like policies or even company culture, are really needed to back this up and truly minimize those insider risks for AI systems? Something important to consider.